Setting up a WooCommerce store can feel overwhelming and even feel like a nightmare, but not if you watch this video. In this in-depth tutorial, I'm going to explain everything you need to understand on how to set up a website, how to install WooCommerce, how to install theme, products, taxes, every single thing about how to create a fully functional e-commerce store. So strap in, grab a cup of coffee, and let's get started. So before you can build a website, obviously you need a domain name and hosting. Think of domain name as the phone number that people can call you, and hosting as the self-service or self-service that supports that phone number. So you need both for them to set up a website. And you know how domain name works, right? If you go to google.com, the google.com part is the domain name, and the website actually is hosted by the server behind it. So when we start the video, we'll first take the first important step is how to actually purchase a domain name and hosting. Now, if you go to the internet, you might be able to purchase domain name separately, hosting separately, and you might have to pay $10, $15, $20 depending on the domain name, and then pay a lot of hosting. But if you follow this tutorial specifically, I'm going to show you how to get the best deal for getting hosting and also get a free domain in the process if you follow the specific instructions I'm going to share in this video. So we'll start with that. We'll start with purchasing domain name and hosting. Then we'll set up a website, install WordPress, WooCommerce, and I'll show you everything step by step on how to set up a WooCommerce store in just a couple of hours probably. So strap in, let's get started with setting up or purchasing a domain name and hosting, and just follow along and you'll understand every single thing about how to set up a WooCommerce store. Let's begin. All right, so let's start building our website. And as I said, we'll be using a domain name and hosting to create a website, and you can buy them separately, but the easiest way to get domain name for the cheapest price you can see here and also get a domain for absolutely free is by using our referral link to Bluehost. You can see the link on the screen. I'll post it up. It's the easiest thing. It's also linked in the description of this video and also in the pinned comment. You can start building your website very, very easily for a ridiculously low price. You can see it's just $1.99 a month. And all you have to do is just go to this page. The page will look very similar or almost exactly the same as you can see here. And then what you have to do is either click Get Started Now or just scroll down below and choose a pricing plan that suits your needs. Now, the $1.99 plan that I just was demonstrating includes 10 websites, 10 GB storage, 100 concurrent visitors, ideal for up to 40,000 visitors a month. So you have all these features in $1.99. Now, if you want to have more websites or a little more storage or even have more visitors, then you can go for any other plan as well. And all of these plans are extremely discounted because you are using a referral link. So make sure to use the right appropriate or choose the appropriate plan. Most people, if you are just a beginner, you just have a small website, you want to try things out, choose for the basic plan. Or if you just want to have a little more storage and more flexibility to open up your website in the future or expecting more visitors on your site, then you can go to Choice Plus as well. All you have to do is click the select button. In this case, I'll just click the select button here, which will take us to the next step of going through the process. Now, in this case, you can choose your domain name as well. So all you have to do is type the domain name here and figure out, hey, if that domain name is available. And if you already have a domain name, that you can do this here. Now, I'll just do a couple of searches just to show it that if something is available or how it looks like. But in this case, I'm just doing this demonstration for you guys. So I'll choose the domain later and proceed with the step. So let's say Oregon gardening.com. I hope I'm spelling everything correctly. Let's first search for the domain name. All right. So as you can see, the domain name that I chose was available here. So sometimes you'll also see that Bluehost will recommend something additional features to you that you can utilize. It's up to you to decide if you use it. For example, you see this plugin here, the Google Workspace, online store details. So you can add this to your cart and if you want to use this or not. What I'll do is just go back to the previous page because I was just demonstrating how the process will look like. In this case, I'll just choose the domain name later. You can also choose the private registration and see what it is. Most of the time, what it will do is hide the information about the registrar, which is you. A lot of times you'll notice that if you just register a domain name without this, you might be spammed with web development services, marketing services. And if you're all right with that, you can just uncheck this. But if you value your privacy, you can purchase the domain name privacy for a few dollars. So I'll choose the domain name later, and I'll probably be using a test domain name, but whatever domain name is available, you will get that for free. So now I have here once again the same page, but no domain name here. So I'll just skip that part. So I'm seeing some additional plugins and other things that are recommended to me. Now, if I don't need this, I can always skip that right now. And you will see you can go 8 items in the cart. So always double check all that is being added to your cart is something that you want. So I'll edit my cart and you'll see what I'm getting is, hey, I'm getting hosting, I'm getting free SSL, I'm getting site lock. And if you want other features which are basically upsold to you, then you can go for it. And this is completely personal to you if you want them or not. For example, site lock, I'll just skip this in this case. Code guard, I'll just skip this in this case. And professional email, we're getting it for 3 months free. So then it will be chargeable. So I'll skip that for now as well, just to ensure or show to you that, hey, you can buy the domain name and other services without this, but I'll leave that decision up to you if you want to actually buy those services. In this case, we are also being given domain privacy, which is exactly what I talked about. If you really value your privacy, and then you should just purchase this for a year or whatever time you want this. Otherwise, what you can do is just make sure that whatever you're being charged for is something that you've opted in for. So in this case, I'm also going to delete the domain name because I'm going to be using a test domain name. I'm not interested in purchasing the domain name. I'm just demonstrating the process to you. I'll also go to site lock and other elements. So now that I've removed all the optional elements, I have WordPress hosting, I have a free SSL, and I also have site lock Lite, which is 1 year free. Then I can choose to not pay for it or pay for it. So the pricing you'll see is exactly what we intended, $199 a month. So this is exactly what the price is. Now, I already technically have a Bluehost account. So I've made a purchase, I have hosting already. So once you continue to check out, you will have to fill in the information. But in this case, I already have everything. I have the account set up. So I'll just show you how it works basically, right? It's just very simple, like purchasing anything online. Once you have to make a purchase, you'll have to fill in your name, your country, your address, and details about this. And then you can also subscribe to Bluehost's marketing emails if you want to. Otherwise, you can just uncheck this. Then you also have an account password which you can use to log into Bluehost account. So make sure to create a password, choose a payment method, and then finish the payment, right? So the payment amount is something that you can see here. This is what you'll be charged today. And once you're done, you'll get an email with, hey, credentials, login, hey, here's how you can log in. Or you can also just use Bluehost, or they'll probably be redirected to a specific page already. So once that is done, you will reach the My Account page of Bluehost, which will look something too similar like this. So you can see here, this is my login page. So this will be a link that will be sent to your email, and you'll have to log in with your username and password. So I'll just pull in my saved password here, and I'll just place this in, and I'll log in once again. And this might ask you to have some verification based on your security settings. So if you see this, then I'll just pause the video for a second and go back and just enter the login password or OTP. All right. So no OTP was because I was already logged in. So no OTP is here in this case. But this is your Bluehost admin area where you'll see websites and all these different settings. Now, my website or my admin area looks quite different than how yours will look like, because I host a lot of websites with Bluehost. So you can see so many different websites, and if I keep scrolling, you'll see more. But in your case, you might not have any website because you've just created a Bluehost account. In that case, all you have to do is click the Add Site button, because we've purchased a domain name, we have hosting, but we have not set up a website there yet. So I'll click this button called Add Site, and you should also be clicking that. And the next step is Install WordPress. This is what we'll be using. We're not going to use any other options. We'll click Continue. And then choose the site title. A title is something, think of your website has a name, right? It can be changed, but because I have a lot of websites, I'll just name this something so that I can find it in the dashboard. So I'll say WooCommerce Demo, right? I'll just name it Demo, keeping it simple, and I'll click Continue for now. And then now what you'll do here, since you have already purchased the domain name, you have it for free, you just enter your domain name here, and that will be connected to your website automatically. That's one of the benefits of using Bluehost. You don't have to go into DNS settings and make changes, which is technical, and most people might find it overwhelming as well. So just enter your domain name. Now, since I didn't purchase it myself, I was just demonstrating it, I'll just use a temporary domain name. And you can do the same thing. You can connect your domain name later, but it might be a few additional steps. So in this case, I would recommend just enter the domain name you purchased with your account for free here, and that will be connected to your website. I'll choose this option. You should choose this option. I'll click this, click Continue. And now basically our job is done. what happen is Bluehost will take all the heavy lifting or do the heavy lifting for you. It'll set up your site, install WordPress, and this will take a few minutes of time. After that, it will be redirected to the dashboard and you should see your website finished there. So once it redirects to that page, I'll pause the video or resume the video then and demonstrate how you can access your website from your dashboard. So we're back inside the dashboard and I just searched for WooCommerce demo, which is the name of my website. And this is why adding the title is helpful. And while I was speaking, you were seeing that, hey, installing WordPress was being shown up. So it takes a couple of minutes to install WordPress. And you'll probably see your site like this instantly after the installation process is in place. So since I have a lot of websites, so you can see 27. So in this case, I've had to search for it. You'll see your website directly. Now, there are two ways to access your website and go about it, but I'm going to show you how most people would do it and what I would recommend you do. So you can click this edit site button here, which will take you directly to your website. And the process is slightly different every single time. So I'll click on this and this will launch WordPress, but Bluehost has their own AI website builder. And in this particular scenario where I'm demonstrating WooCommerce, I'll be skipping over those areas where I don't want you to go more into the design part. This video is more about understanding WooCommerce requirements and what WooCommerce can do rather than designing the perfect website, which I'll take a look at. But this is what you can see here. Welcome to WordPress powered by Bluehost. So you have the AI site creator and all this content and design generated by AI. In this particular tutorial, I'm not focused on this. So, and also just keep in mind, if you're watching this tutorial at a later date, you might see the process look a little different. But the intention behind this video is we have to skip this AI builder part and we just have to go to the dashboard so that we can start understanding the backend and utilizing WooCommerce. So in this case, there's a pretty button here already. I'm following a tutorial, take me to the WP admin dashboard. So you should be clicking this button so that you can directly go to the admin dashboard where you can install WooCommerce and do other things on your website. So you can see as I click the button, I am now being redirected to the dashboard. And this is basically voila, your WooCommerce website is now ready. Well, technically not on WooCommerce, but your WordPress website is ready. And let's also see how a website looks like. So to see your website, you can directly go to the domain name. Or the second option is if you hover over the top left of the screen, you can right here. So you'll see an option toggle here, which is visit site. And I'll just right click it and open it in a new tab so that you can see your website. And don't worry about status not live. I'm going to fix that and I'm going to show you. So basically this is your website. This is completely a default template right now. So we will be customizing it, installing WooCommerce, creating products and all that good stuff. But this is your website ready. It's completely fully functional right now. So basically the process of building the website with your domain name has been done already. Now you do see this notice here. This is not a live website. Only admins can see this view, which is fair enough. Let's fix that. So what I'll do is directly click this button, site status not live, which will redirect me to settings inside my WordPress or my admin area, specifically settings inside the Bluehost account. And I can see site status not live. And your website is currently displaying a coming soon page. For visitors, they'll see, hey, this website is under construction or in maintenance, coming soon. So once you want to stop doing that, basically, we can just uncheck this. Now, this is up to you. If you want to take your time and build your site and then release it to the public, keep this enabled. You'll still be able to access your website and the backend areas, everything. But if you want to test out, hey, want to make this live, just do this. And the website will directly, instantly go live. That's how it works. So if you've done this, congratulations. Now your website is finally available to the public. And once again, if I want to do the same things, I can just go here, click visit site, which will take me back to my website. So now this page is live or the site is live. And an easy way to just jump back to your website from the home page is, first of all, you can go here and go to the dashboard. And you'll observe that this black bar is not part of your website, by the way. It's only visible to you as the administrator. So don't worry about, hey, all these things will be visible to users. No, they won't see this. Only you will see this. So what you have to do is, if you want to go back to the dashboard, all you have to do is go to the actual name of the website here, title, and then go to dashboard, which will take you back to the admin area of your website. All right. So this is the admin area, or this is WordPress and the admin area. You can see the dashboard here. You have all these settings here, plugins here, all these things. And now what we want to do is check out a couple of settings. But before that, let's install the most important thing here for this tutorial, which is WooCommerce. So WooCommerce is a plugin for WordPress, and plugin is like, think of it as apps for your phone, right? You can download apps from the App Store. So on WordPress, you can install plugins from the plugin store. And you can see here, there's a menu called plugin. So we can say or directly go to add new plugin, and WooCommerce, the base plugin is completely free. It has tons of add-ons, so you can install add-ons or purchase add-ons, which will add more functionality. So this is the WordPress repository, basically, that is showing up on your website. And what we'll do is just search for the WooCommerce plugin. So I'll just go here and search for WooCommerce. And WooCommerce will start showing up, or a couple of seconds, you'll see the WooCommerce plugin show up here in the search results. And once it does show up, we'll install the plugin and activate it on our site, which will complete the process of installing the plugin. So let's wait for the search to finish. All right, so now finally the search has finished and we can see the WooCommerce plugin right here. And you can see WooCommerce, this is by Automatic, which is the company behind WordPress. So you can see this is the plugin. We'll install the plugin now and we'll wait for it to finish. And the plugin has been installed. Let's also activate the plugin. So WooCommerce is now installed and you'll be redirected to Bluehost's dashboard here. Now, typically when you install WooCommerce, it should trigger a setup process automatically, but sometimes it might redirect you to the Bluehost page here. So I'll show you how to trigger or start the setup wizard manually as well. By the way, this is not the actual WordPress setup or WordPress dashboard. This is Bluehost dashboard. So if you want to go back to your regular dashboard, all you have to do is just scroll to the side of the page, find the second option which says dashboard, just click on home and you'll be taken to the home page or the dashboard of your home page or homepage of your dashboard technically. Now, since we've installed WooCommerce, you'll see 4 new menu entries show up here. You'll see WooCommerce, products, analytics, and marketing. So these are all the sections where you will do everything related to WooCommerce. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you some of these options well. But first thing I will want to do is go through the setup wizard, which will essentially help us set up a lot of the things or typically default settings for our WooCommerce store. So what we'll do is first, before starting this, we'll fix the permalinks on our site. Since we have installed WooCommerce, we want to ensure that all the products that we create in later stages of the video don't have any skewed product links because that causes problem in the future. So what I'm going to do is first go into settings here. I'm going to the permalinks option here. This typically sets up how your links are set up. So in this case, you can see the permalink structure for regular content on your site. That means pages and posts is set to post name simply. So it will show up with a post name. And for products, after we install WooCommerce, we have a different option as well. So now we can do it 2 ways. We can do shop based with categories. So if you have, let's say, a lot of categories on your site, then you can do this one. So it'll be, or all your products will be under shop, the actual category name, and also sample product. That means the name of the product. You can also do a shop base basically, or you can do no shop base and just have the product name as well. Now, most of these are not something that will make a critical difference to your website. But if you have a lot of categories, I would recommend going this route where you have categories so that users can also understand, and it also helps with SEO because you have content properly organized. If you're just selling products in one category, then this custom base or a shop base can also work. So in this case, I'm not going to do anything else. I'm just going to show you that, okay, this is the one we're going with. I am going to show you how to create products, or I say categories and tags to organize your products in the later stages of this video. First, I'll save my changes here because if you make changes, you should also save your changes. Now, once that happens, we'll go into the product section here. Don't worry, we're not creating a product yet. But the option to re-trigger the setup wizard is actually found inside the help menu. So if you go to the new product section here, you'll see screen options and help here. So if I click help, you'll see help and support, found a bug, and the most important option that we are looking for, the setup wizard. So what we can do is we can start the setup wizard again using this process. So in this case, you saw that I installed WooCommerce, but the setup process was not triggered. So here I can go again and initiate the setup process. And that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to click the setup wizard, and this will start the setup wizard of WooCommerce. Now, this will help us do a lot of things, basically set up our store and create essential settings so that we don't have to do a lot of things by going hunting into the settings manually. So let's start the process by going into the first step, which is setting up our stores. And for that, all I'll do is click this button, set up my store. And you also have some data usage policies here. So if you are okay with that, just keep it enabled as I have done. I'll click set up my store, and this will take us to the next step. And you can see which of the things describe you. This will help us setting up our store. So you can say, I'm just starting my business. I'm already selling. So it's completely up to you. This I don't think makes a huge difference. But let's say I'm selecting, I'm already selling. So are you selling online? Then we can, hey, I'm selling online, I'm selling offline, I'm selling offline and online. So let's say if I'm selling online, then what platform I'm already currently selling on, basic stuff that you need to configure. I'm going to just select the option of just starting out, just keeps it simple, no unnecessary settings to configure yet. I'll click continue. And now we have our different options. We can customize our store. So right now the store name is WooCommerce Demo. So you can change the title of the store and name it, hey, John's shop or Yuvraj's product store or whatever. I'm not going to change this one because it helps me find my website in the WooCommerce, or not in the WooCommerce, but Bluehost admin area. So I'm going to change this, not going to change this. And what I can do is I can find the industry here. So what kind of industry I am in? Let's say I'm in the clothing and accessories industry, and where your store located, India, Delhi, this is fine. And then your email address. I'm going to change this to a random email address that I found, because it will be easy for me to demonstrate a lot of these settings without having to blur out the email hundred of times. So now we have a dummy email setup, and then you can also opt in to receive tips, discount, and recommendations from Woo and WooCommerce directly in your inbox. I'm going to skip this part, not check this, and I'm going to click continue, and this will take us to the next step. And in the next option, we have a few optional plugins that WooCommerce will recommend us to install. We have some Jetpack AI Assistant, product with Pinterest, and some other interesting products, or let's say plugins. I'm going to skip these because we're going to tackle all the plugins that are required to run your WooCommerce store at the later stages of the video. Once we create a product, or once we create a few products, and also we set up the team, then I'll show you what plugins to install and why are they useful. So I'll skip this part and click continue. And basically, now we're starting the process of setting up our store. And now we are again redirected to back to our WooCommerce dashboard, which is our WooCommerce home. And I'll show you a few different steps to get through the process of setting up your entire website. So if you're watching this video, then you don't have to do this or specifically follow these steps, because I'm going to show you those steps anyway. So the first thing we can do is start creating products. By the way, we're not going to cover everything. I'm going to show you how to create products. I'm going to show you how to look at some analytics data or some products and revenue data, basic overview of that. And I'm also going to show you how to customize the theme of your website and some other interesting things as well. So let's start with the product section, and I'm going to show you how to create products. For that, I'm going to just go to the product section, and I'm going to go to first all products, so that you can see there are no products currently present on my site. And you can see there are no products here. So what I can do is just click this button called create product, or I can click the add new button from this section as well. And both of them will take me to the next step, which is the process of creating a product. So let's click and wait. So this is the product creation section where we can create a product. And as you can see, WooCommerce is giving me a guided demonstration of how to create a product. But since you're watching this video, there's no need for you to follow the guided process. I'm just going to cross this out. And this is the interface for creating a product. Now, you might see a lot of different things here, but don't worry, it's actually easy. I'm going to show you exactly what to do. And I'm going to show you also how to create different kinds of products. So if you can see here, you have a simple product, a group product, an external product, and variable product. And I'm going to talk about some of the settings and some of the things that you need to configure here so that you can create products effectively. So what we'll do is we'll start with a basic product first. So that makes it very simple for us to set up a product. So I'm going to just say, hey, white t-shirt, let's say. So this is where you'll name the product here. What's the name of the product? I'll add it here. Then you can add a product description here. So you can see, or I'll probably write here, an all day. Right. So this is a simple description I set up. Then we come here to the section below, which is where we configure the product data. Now, of course, if you have a product, you have a lot of different data that you can configure about pricing, what's the sale, whatever. So this is where we configure everything. Right now, I'm sticking to simple product. That means think about this, a product that you have to sell without any configurable options, no variables. That means technically in a t-shirt, we have sizes, we have other kinds of, let's say, materials or colors. I'm not setting up at this moment, just to demonstrate the options you need to configure first. Then I'm going to go into the different details of how you can configure different areas of your store with different products. So in the first case, we have to go to general section here. And in general section, we can configure the regular price. So I'll set it up to, let's say, $9.99. which is in Indian rupees, because I've set up my store location. The currency is set automatically, at least I assume, because that's how it works. And I'll show you how to change currency as well once we go to the settings area. And let's say I set the sale price to 699 rupees. So it's nice healthy discount of like the 30% approximately. Then you can also schedule the discount to run from X amount of time, from X amount of time. So that's also something you can do. This is the part where we set up the price first. Then in terms of inventory, we can set on an SKU. So let's say if I do T1 for t-shirt 1, and if you have the universal identifier like a UPC code or ISBN for a book, and you can enter that information here. I don't have it, so I'll just enter AB1 or something just to keep it simple. AB1. This is a dummy data, of course. So I'll just enter 1 and it automatically passes that data to set it as 1. Perfect. Then you can also show or enable this option for stock quantity enabling. That means if you have a limited stock that you organize for WooCommerce or especially your online store, then enabling this option will allow us to enter the amount of stock that we have available. Now, if you are, let's say, a manufacturer and you always have hundreds of SKUs available, then you don't need to configure this. But if you produce in limited quantities, or if you have distribution, or let's say segregate stock for offline and online, then you can say, hey, I have, let's say, 50 units in stock at this moment, and this will automatically work with basically your inventory. So if, let's say, 40 people bought it, then the in quantity will automatically be adjusted. And then you can also configure back orders. So once the product runs out, some people or some brands, they don't bring things in stock for months. So you can say, hey, I don't allow any back orders, or you can allow the back orders but notify the customer, or you can just say allow, because let's say if you're manufacturing is quite fast, so even if the quantity runs out, you'll have the stock in a couple of days and you can send the product again. Then you can also configure store wide threshold, which is the low stock threshold. So store wide setting is 2. That means that if the product quantity goes to 2, you as an administrator will be notified about the low stock of the product. And you can also limit that, okay, one customer can only purchase one. For example, when the PS4 5 came out, there was a lot of hoarders that were buying it in bulk. So almost every store had a limit that you can only buy one per customer. So you can set that kind of limit here as well. In the shipping options, we haven't configured any shipping options or shipping rates yet, but you can configure that, hey, how heavy is the package? So right now, since I'm in India, I'm using the it's a metric system, so kgs and centimeters. So let's say if I say it's 200 grams, so 250 grams, then I'll also do 2.250, which is 250 grams. And I can set up a dimensions as well. What's the length, width, and weight or height, sorry. And this helps us understand what the shipping I'd say rates will be when we configure the shipping. So in this case, let's do what's the ideal length? I say 25 centimeters. I might be completely off base. The width can be around 20 centimeters. And height can be around 5 centimeters. All right. So shipping classes, since we haven't set this up yet, so you won't see it here. Once we set it up, you'll understand what are or what shipping classes helps us do. Then we also have linked products here. So if, let's say, if you see a product page and you see, hey, customers also bought this product, or in case you don't want this, or you want something else as well, sometimes you might promote a jacket with a t-shirt, or a cap, or a sunglasses, and maybe a pair of socks with the shoes. You can do an upsell here. So if you have a product that has, let's say, a pair of shoes and you want to sell socks as well, you can do upsells. And if it's a cross-category sell, that means somebody is looking at a jacket and then you try to give them an option of purchasing a hoodie, then you can do cross-sell here. So since I don't have any other products created yet, I won't see anything here. But if I create more than one product, I can search for it and manually say that, hey, these are the products that are you can upsell or cross-sell. Next is the attribute section. And attributes is very powerful. I'm going to explain how it works. So even though we are creating a simple product which will not allow users to have drop-down options to select a different size or colors, we can still add attributes here which will show up on the product page, showcasing that what the product is like. So in this case, let's say if I do a size, and I can say the sizes I have available are medium, and then a bar, and let's say large, and I do XL, right? Extra large as well. And I can save these attributes and I can enable this option to be present on the product page as well if I want to. So I'll save these attributes. So now I have the size attribute done. And if I open this up, you can see I have 3 sizes here that the product will be showcased on. And I can also add more here, right? I can also add more. So if I add one more here, then what I can do is I can say material. And in this case, I'll say, let's say Supima cotton, right? Supima cotton, which is I think the best quality cotton is available. So I'll save these, and we also will do, let's say, one more thing for color. So I'll just do one more, and we'll have color. and I'll do white, and I'll do gray, and I'll do black. Okay. So in this case, just keep attention that you have to separate all of the different attributes that you create with a bar, which is typically above the enter key on a Windows keyboard, and I think on the Mac as well. So you will have to hold the shift key and press the, let's say, backward slash button to come up with this bar. And that's how you save attributes. And these are very useful to create even if you are not allowing or creating a simple product. Why is that? I'm going to explain that once we create different kinds of products. Then we have advanced options. So you can add a purchase note, menu order, so you can organize where, how it shows up. You can enable the reviews of the product. You can start and create promotions, and you can get more options with some extensions of WooCommerce as well. You can also add a product description. Now, the most important part of the equation is product photos, right? We haven't added any photos. So how do we add any photos? We do it in two ways. So the main photograph that will be used, or the main picture will be used to showcase the product, is the product image, and the rest of the images are inside the product gallery. And you can see we don't have any images yet. So I'll click the set product image, and I have a few images for t-shirts already downloaded. So I'm going to just do drag and drop them here. So I'm going to drag it here and drop it, and it'll be uploaded instantly. And once that's done, we can select this image as the main product image. So I'm going to set the product image, and now the product image has been set. And I want to add some additional images for gallery as well. So I'm going to click here, and once again, we'll have the same option. I can select the same image, but it'll come twice. So we don't want that. So I'm going to upload a few different images here. So I've just uploaded them. They'll take a couple of seconds to be uploaded. And once that's done, we'll just click the add to gallery button, and all of these are now part of the gallery. So congratulations, technically we have created our very first product on WooCommerce. So let's also check it out, but first we need to publish the product. So I'm going to click publish here, and this product will be now published on our site and live on our website. So take a couple of seconds. So once it's done, I'm going to show you how to actually see the product on your store as well. All right, the product is now saved, and you can see here just below the name, we see the permalink as well. So we can just click on the permalink to open the link of the product on our website. So I'm going to control click to open it up a new tab. I'm just going to then move around to this product page. And once it loads, we'll see the exact product that we just created in just a minute is now available here. So you can see here, this is the site, the WooCommerce demo, all the features, home, uncategorized because we haven't set up categories yet. And you have a nice looking product page here. It has a built-in zoom feature. So if I move my mouse around, you can see I can zoom in around, and I can click around and see different images of different products that I just uploaded. And one thing you'll notice that WooCommerce is smart to handle different aspect ratios automatically. So this image is quite tall, and this image is squarish, and this image is even more rectangular but in the opposite direction, not a vertical but a horizontal format, and then this image is somewhere in the middle. So it automatically handles all of these aspect ratios. And then we have the price, we can see the stock information, the SKU, category, description here, and here we have the description, and in the additional information you will see all these details, the weight, dimensions, and everything. And because this can be technical details for, let's say, tech products. If you're selling a camera, you can, hey, what's the sensor size, is it a back illuminated sensor, or what's the frame rate. So you can add all the technical details of the product here. For example, as I was mentioning, that these are the options that do not allow users to select from the options here. So in this case, as I was giving you an example of a camera, users cannot select how much FPS they want in a camera. It's just a feature that they can know about. So in that case, we can just add those features here that, hey, this is what the options are. And in the next few steps, I'm going to show you how to create variable products which have options that users can choose from. So congratulations, if you've been following along, you just created your very first product. So let's go back here. And I'm going to show you how to create different kinds of products. And I'm going to just go to rush through them quickly a little bit, or let's say heading a little fast, because otherwise this will be a very long video. I don't want that. So now we created a simple product. And a simple product can have a few different options as well. So you see two different options here. We have virtual products and we have downloadable products. So what is a virtual product? Virtual product is something that does not ship to the user. So let's say if they buy something digital, let's say a software license or something like that, then you can make it a virtual product. It is basically the sense of ownership. So let's say they purchased a piece of art that is set in a museum, for example, you're just bidding on them or the option to purchase, then that's a virtual product because nothing is shipped to them. And a downloadable product can be anything that is downloadable to the user's computer. So if you, let's say, sell images as a photographer, then you can use it. If you have, let's say, downloadable fonts, then you can sell them. If you have downloadable software, you can use them. So anything that can be downloaded on the user's computer, you can set it as a downloadable product. And the options that you see here will change. So if I click virtual, you'll see the shipping products go away or shipping options go away. If I click downloadable, you'll see some more options show up, how many downloads, where the download file is. You can add links here. So that's a different story altogether. By the way, for downloadable products, if you want to sell ebooks, PDFs, or anything downloadable, WooCommerce is not it's a great solution, but it's not a perfect solution. So I would recommend that you check out this solution I'm going to show you. It's called Easy Digital Downloads. And that is the website that is much more suited, or this website, or not the website, but this product is more suited for selling digital e-commerce, or for digital e-commerce. So you can have subscription billing, content production, PDF, software. You can sell all of that. So that's completely up to you if you want to use this. But my job was to just tell you that this feature also exists and this product also exists. So now that we have understood simple product, virtual product, and downloadable product, we can go to the other kinds of products. So what are the products? We have group product, we have external products, and variable products. So let's talk about them one by one. So what is a group product? A group product is basically a group of different products. So in this case, let's say if you're selling socks, you can say, hey, I have red pair of socks, blue, green, yellow, and whites. But if I want to make a bundle of all those, now I can create one bundle as well. So all these products are bundled together as one product. So you can see the SKU of the product is here, the same products here, and then you can do the linked products and everything. So basically it works the very same way that I was just mentioning about, but this is where you can configure the options and you can just set it up as a group product. It's pretty simple to set up. Next up is an external product. So let's say if you are an affiliate program, or if you're part of an affiliate program and you're not selling the product yourself, you're directing users to another product or another website, for example, let's say Amazon or any other business that actually sells the product and you earn commissions, you can create a product as an affiliate product. So in this case, you see, you will have the product URL that you'll add, and then you'll also change the button text. For example, this button text says add to cart. So you might say buy on Amazon or buy on XYZ website, and that is what you can add here as well. And the rest of the options are quite similar, but for affiliate products, you will obviously not track any inventory, and you'll have different options, similar options here as well. So that's how you set up external or affiliate products on your site. And then you also have variable products. And now what are variable products? So variable products work as basically, let's say you buy a t-shirt, you have different colors, you have different sizes, maybe you have different fits as well. Then you can do variable products. For example, shoes have different sizes that you can purchase. Then that is how we do it. So you can see here, as soon as I switch to a variable product, this notice shows up which says start by adding attributes. And this is the point I was talking about. If we add attributes, we can directly import them into features or let's say variable options that we can configure on our product. So since we've already added the attributes here, we'll just go here, and what we can do is we can add these same attributes to our variations as well, right? So what we can do is, you can see here, if I go to the variations option, which is a new option here, you can see add some attributes in the attributes tab to generate variations. Make sure to check the use for variations box. What does this mean? If I go to attributes here, I added 3 different attributes. I added a size, I added a material, and I added a color. Now, you probably understand that when you're buying t-shirts, you don't have options to choose from different material, right? So I chose the material here, Supima cotton, and that's the only material, because if a t-shirt is made in a certain material, you can't go to the retailer and say, hey, I want this in a different material. That's not usually how it happens. Some retailers might do it, but you can 100% go to a retailer and say, hey, I want this in a different size, or I want it in a different color, because that's very regular ask to have. So what we'll do is we'll go to the size option here, and you can see here it says visible on the product page and also used for variation. So you can take attributes and then use them for variations automatically. So if I click this and close this and go to the color and say this, and if I save them, now my variations should be automatically created on the site. So let's wait for that to finish, and we'll go to variations, and we might need to refresh, or this will automatically refresh, right? So now you can see, since I've created the attributes, I can get the option of generate variations automatically. So if I click this button, variations will automatically be created based on the attributes that I have selected for variations, or we can add them manually as well if you want to. As I said, I explained with a technical example that you have a camera, so you might not be able to support all variations. So that's completely up to you. If you run out of stock for a certain variation, you can do that. I'm going to just click generate variations, and it'll give me a notice. I'll click OK, and this will take all the attributes that I've set with all the different options I configured, and it'll create the variations for me automatically. I'll close this menu out, and you can see based on this. So if I go to the attributes here, In size, we had 3 options, and in color, we had 3 options. So it's basically a permutation combination of all this, which means 9 variations have been created, which was what the notice said. So now we can see we have a medium white, medium gray, medium black, and same thing with large and XL. So what we can do now is we can change the options around or delete some of the variations that we don't want, and you can also set up a different pricing. For example, the XLs might have a different price. So if I click on these options, you can see the image is something I can change based on the medium white. I can add a new image, and then you can see this one is enabled. So if I want to disable it temporarily, something is out of stock, then I can change it around, and I can do the regular price and sale price once again for this. So let's say we do the regular price being $6.99 and the sale price being normal, or I say that's the only price that I set. So if I go to that, let's say the large variant of the white color, I can say the large is $7.99, it's 100 rupees more. And if I, let's say, go to the XL white, then I can say it's around, let's say $8.99. I'll just increase the price a little bit. The materials are more material used to produce a bigger t-shirt. Now in this case, what I can do is I can disable the rest. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep some of these enabled, some of these disabled, just to give you the idea of how you can configure these around. So I'm going to enable all the mediums and enable the pricing or add the pricing here. And for the rest, for large, I'm going to keep the white enabled, and I'm going to just disable the gray and also disable the black here. And for the XL, what I'll do is I'll again keep the first one, which is the white enabled. I'm going to disable the gray, but I'm going to keep the black enabled, just to give you an idea of the different variations of price we can add and different kinds of things like that. Now, I don't have a lot of images here, so I'm not going to add images, but the thing works as the same, or you can just upload an image regularly. So now that we have done everything, let's down everything. Now you need to save our product once again so that all these changes are saved. I'll click the update button here, which will save our changes. And once that's done, I'm going to show you and open the product once again in a new tab and show you all the different options that have been configured. So let's wait for the update to finish, and I'll show you that. So the product is now saved. Let's open it up in a new tab once again. And now we can see the same product has now choosable options. So size and color are the two only options we selected, even though the attributes had all the other different options as well. And now we can see we have the M, L, and XL, and we have different options. So if I, let's say, choose the XL, I can only have white or black because the gray one is disabled. If I go to the M, I only have, or I have all three options. And in the large, I have only the white options. And the pricing is also reflecting of what I set it for. So this is how you can configure variations, the different pricing for variations. And then if you add them to cart, this product will be added to the cart, and you can see the product has been added to cart. So this is how you basically create products in WooCommerce. In the next few sections, I'm going to show you different variations of say a WooCommerce blocks when we use different pages. But we'll cover settings first, we'll cover different areas first, we'll change the theme around of our site first, and then I'm going to show you all those options as well. So let's head to the next section where I'm going to show you how to spice up your website a little bit, because now you can see we just have the default looking website right now, which is not great if you want to sell a lot of great products through your online store. So I'm going to show you how to set up a nice new little, or I say a new theme on your website now. All right, so now that we've set up a product, let's look at how to customize our WooCommerce store's themes. And theme menus or theme options are available in the appearance menu. So if I go to appearance here, you'll see themes, premium themes, editor, and a few different options. I'll go to themes options here, which will show the existing themes that are installed on our site. So we can see we have three themes installed, but only one theme can be active at a time. So we have the 2024 default WordPress theme installed. What I'm going to do is click on the add new theme button, and this will open up the WP, or I'd say the WordPress repository for themes. Now we have a lot of themes available, right? So once the page loads, you'll see hundreds and hundreds and even thousands and thousands of themes available for us to install. So how do we choose? Well, the easiest idea is to search for one of the best themes on the WordPress store right now, which is called Astra. So I'm going to search for Astra and let the search finish first, and you'll see the Astra theme here. Now you might look at this theme and say, hey, all these other themes look much better and are more suited for what I'm trying to look for, and this doesn't show any e-commerce functionality. Well, the best part about the Astra theme is the Astra theme is like a chassis for your car. And you can change the appearance of the theme, and this lays the foundation. It has very strong, it's a great performance, it has a lot of different features to basically create beautiful websites. So just install the theme here, and once the theme installs and activates, I'm going to show you how to get all the different looks for the theme running for your site as well. So let me activate the theme here. And once the theme is installed, if you go to your front end of the website and see the theme, you might look at the theme and say, hey, this is not looking great, at least from what you expect from a good theme. But that's the part I'm trying to cover here, that this is the chassis. Let's install the overall look of the theme by going into the plugins section here. Now, I'm going to cover plugins, different plugins, which plugins you should install at a later stage. But right now, I'm just going to go to add a new plugin here. And just going to find a specific plugin, which is a companion plugin for the Astra theme. So I'm going to go here and type starter templates and wait for the search. And this is the starter templates plugin. And you can see the creator is Brainstorm Force, which are the creators of the Astra theme. And it's a fantastic, plugin with a lot of good reviews. So let's install this plugin now. Let's also activate it. So once you activate the Astra themes companion plugin, which is starter templates, it will give you this interface and allow you to choose between an AI website builder or classic starter templates. I'm going to go with the classic starter templates for now, and I'll click this button. And this is where the magic happens. You can see so many different looks that you can apply to your website in just a few clicks. I'm going to demonstrate how to do that. So since we're working with the e-commerce store, so I'm going to click on the e-commerce section, which will filter out only the themes that we want to use for e-commerce. So I'm going to scroll down here and you can see there are a lot of themes available. Now, definitely the premium ones are not available in the free version of this plugin. You might need to upgrade, but there are a lot of or plenty of free options available to start creating a site. For example, this looks good. This looks good. These look good as well. But the one that caught my eye was, I think, in the beginning of the store. This one, this looks great. I like the green color. I like the overall look. So we can use this, and definitely everything we see here is customizable. So we don't have to stick with, hey, I'm not creating a garden store. That's completely fine. We can change the images around and it'll look great for any kind of store. So I'm going to click on this, and this will take us to the next interface or next option, which is where we can customize the overall look of the theme, which is where we can install or upload our logo. We can change the typography and choose a color palette. So I don't have a logo, so I'm going to stick with the default logo, but I'm going to just go through the typography here and find one that I like. I like this one as well. Let's go through a few different ones as well. And I'll just keep going around. And this is one of the beautiful benefits of using the Astra theme starter templates. You can just change things around and you can see live changes. So I think I liked this one the best. And for the color palette, let's switch around a little few of them. And I think I liked the green one. I think this green and even this green looks great. I think I'm going to stick with this one or this one. Okay, let's go for the default one. I think this looks the best in my opinion. So I'm going to just click continue. And we have some optional plugins that you can install if you want to add a specific feature on our site. I'm going to skip this for now. Then we have optional information to share, and we can share or non-sensitivity. We can delete this. And I'll just click on submit and build my site. Now you might not see this. This happens because I've been testing this out and I've been trying this a few different options. So you will not see this. So you can completely ignore this option. I'm going to click submit and build my website. And this will start installing the required themes and plugins. And in just less than a minute, this should be done. So in just 46 seconds, our website is now built. Now we can exit to the dashboard by clicking this button or cross, and we can also visit our website. So I'm going to control click this to open it up in a new tab and close this and exit to the dashboard. And this is our beautiful looking website. Look at how beautiful it looks. And the best part is we didn't have to design any of this. We just selected a few buttons or clicked a few buttons. Now we have a beautiful looking site ready for us to use. So that's how you customize the look, or I say, add new themes to your site. Now I want to cover a few different options as well on how to customize some of the elements of the theme. So I'm going to quickly run through them, and then we'll take a look at some other things you can do on a website to finish setting up your WooCommerce store. So the elements to customize the theme are also present in the customizer. So if I go back to the dashboard here, you can go into the appearance section and you'll find the option called customize here. And you can also go to the customizer here. Now, what is a customizer? This is a built-in WordPress feature which allows you to change some theme-specific options and some WordPress-related options as well. So it's a completely new interface that you will not find here, but it's very simple and easy to follow. Now, there are extensive number of options here. Once it loads, I'll show you how many different options are there to configure. So I'm going to run through only the essential options so that I can keep this tutorial to a reasonable length. So this is the customizer, and inside the customizer, you can see there are tons of options. Now, of course, I won't be going into every single option, but I'm going to just tell you how to find the essential options. If you want to change the look of your website, the global options, you can go into the global options. You can change the typography, the colors, the container width of your site, the color of the buttons, add some features like scroll to top, and some other features here. Inside the blog options, you can go and customize the options for your blog and your archive pages. So if I click on this, you can change the layouts, different options here. And similar to that, you can go to the single post option. So if you, let's say, publish content on your site, you can go here and customize those options and so forth. And you can go to the WooCommerce options for WooCommerce and go to site identity to change the icons. But the most important thing that I wanted to highlight that you can customize is the header and the footer of the website. Now, the Astra theme has a specific, or I say special feature called the header builder and the footer builder, which allows you to customize the headers in a visual way. So let me just run through that. So if I click the header builder, you'll see a new interface pop up here. And this is the header builder. Now, the benefit of this is that's a very visual way to build your header. So you have 3 rows here, which are options available. And you can see here, if you compare this to the actual header, the middle row is where all the elements have been added. We can move them around and add new elements as well and customize the elements already added. So you can see here, the cart is here, the account option is here. So many websites, how they have set up their websites or the header is that they have the site and logo on the top, in the middle. So if I just drag it around, you'll see in a couple of seconds, the page will refresh and I'll see a beautiful new header created automatically for us. And you can see it's already done. So that's how easy it is for us to create these elements on our site. And similarly, you can add new elements. So if you hover over any of the empty areas, you can click and add new elements. You can add buttons, HTML, search options, social sharing icons, or widgets. So you have anything that you can want to add here, a specific button, then you can add here. Let's example, if you click the button, you want to add sale offers, you can click a button and do this here. Let me move this around once again to the center element. And we can change this around completely to your liking. And if you want to customize the actual rows, that means let's say the background colors, then you can click here, which will give you the options for the specific section here. So you can change the height, change the visibility. For example, if you say the top row has a feature, but you don't want to be visible on phones because the height is small, you can disable this. And by going into the design options, you can change the background colors, the design, and all those elements as well. So it's a really powerful feature. You can see here, by just using or changing just a few different things, you can completely customize the look of your site. Now, how do you change the logos and how do you change the colors of these elements? Well, this is where you can go into the actual element here. And if you see, if you hover around any of the elements, you'll see a pen icon or pencil icon appear. You can use that, or you can click here and the relevant options will open up on the side. So if I click here on the antiques option, this is where the options for changing the logo will appear. So this is where we can change the logo. You can remove the logo, upload your own logo. You can upload or enable this option to have a high resolution logo for, let's say, high resolution devices. You can change the width of the logo, change the site title, and all the other options. So basically, whatever you want to customize using the header builder, just click on it and you'll find the options to do so. So if I click the primary menu option here, you'll see that the primary or the options for customizing the primary menu appear here. So we can change the width, the item divider. So example, if I show it to you here, if I click on this, we should see dividers between these elements if they are all of a different color, otherwise they won't be visible. So I'll disable this for now. Then we can change the design. We can configure the menus. We can go back in the backend, change menus or create a new menu. We can completely change this around. And similar to the header builder here, we also have a footer builder on our site. I'm not going to demonstrate that in too much detail, but if I click the footer builder, it'll open up a similar interface, which allows us to customize the footer. So I'll just scroll to the bottom of the page to show you what we can do here. So you can see here, similar to how we had the visual information on the header builder, we have the footer builder here as well. So you have the widget here, which has the logo here. Then you have the second widget, which has the quick links and all the links here, and the explore icon with the links here, the help icon with the social icons, and then you have HTML, which contains these logos. So everything basically, you don't have to figure out anything on how to do this. Click on the elements, change things around, and you can completely customize the look of your website, the header and footer in just a few minutes. And once you're done, once you've made changes, just click the publish button and the changes will be saved. So that's how you customize your theme based on using the customizer. Let's look at some other features inside WooCommerce that you need to work on to finish setting up your store. So now that we know how to set up our website and change the look and the theme, now it's time to install some essential plugins so that we can set up our website, and then we'll take a look at some essential settings. Now, as I mentioned, that plugins are inside the plugin section, and when we were installing and setting up our website using Bluehost automatically installs some plugins for us, recommended plugins basically. So we can go check them out, and I'll give you some alternate options that you can utilize, and some plugins which are essential, some which are not, and which ones do you need to install. So I'll start with the first one. So it's the Akismet Anti-Spam. So this is a plugin enabled by, or say installed by default. This is useful if you have a lot of spam comments appearing on your site. So I'd keep this enabled, or I'd say I'll keep it installed, but I'd keep it disabled because I might need it for a future use case. So I am trying to get into the shoes of the person who's just setting up a store for the first time. So in that retrospective or perspective, I'm trying to share which plugins I would keep, which plugins I would uninstall, which plugins I would keep deactivated. The second is a checkout plugin. This is automatically installed when we install starter templates and we install the starter templates WooCommerce theme. So this will be useful when we are setting out our payments plan. So we'll keep this here. Then there's a creative mail application. You can use this if you're setting and sending newsletters and promotions. I would keep this installed, but I won't delete it or I won't activate it right now. Next is Google Analytics by Monster Insights. This is a very powerful plugin. Once you install and activate it and use it to set up your Google Analytics account, this is invaluable when setting up Google Analytics. So I would keep this enabled as well. The Hello Dolly plugin is something that we are not useful. I will delete this. And the next one is the Jetpack plugin. Now, Jetpack can be useful depending on what you're trying to achieve. It has security features, performance features, marketing features, and some other features as well. For this use case, I would delete it and keep it deleted because I won't be using it here. Next up is Opt-in Monster. It's a very powerful plugin to capture leads from your store. So this requires a little bit of setup. And I've done some videos about using Opt-in Monster on my site, on this channel basically. So you can check out those videos here to understand how Opt-in Monster works. I'll keep it installed on the site, but I'll keep it deactivated because we are not setting it up right now. Next is Spectra, and Spectra is installed when we use starter templates. So I'd keep it enabled. Next is the Bluehost plugin, which is useful for connecting with your Bluehost dashboard. I'll keep it enabled. WooCommerce, of course, we want to keep it enabled. Then we have WP Forms Lite. This is also very useful for setting up forms on your website. Then the next three plugins we don't need. We will be setting up payments and SEO different ways. So I'm going to just go here and go to delete and delete all these plugins. So we'll have a set of plugins for our site which are completely set up for us. And now what I'm going to be doing is installing a few new plugins on the site. So for that, all you have to do is go to add new button here or add new plugin here and click on it, which will take us to the plugin repository, similar to how we had the theme repository. So the first plugin I would recommend you install is AIO SEO, which is an abbreviation for all-in-one SEO. It's a fantastic SEO plugin. I would recommend that you install it. So I'll click here and install it now. And you can also install the Smash Balloon plugin if you want to have, or if when your stores gain traction, you want to install and have social feeds on your site. Depending on that, you can use this plugin as well. I'll activate All-in-One SEO right now. And All-in-One SEO also has an activation and a setup wizard. I'm going to be skipping that for now because this is not a video about All-in-One SEO. This is a video about how to set up WooCommerce. So I'm going to be skipping that, and I'm going to be going back to the plugin section, and we'll install the next plugin now. So I'll go click this button, go back to the dashboard, and I'll say no thanks right now. I'll go back and install another plugin on the site. Once again, I'll go to the plugin section, add new plugin, and I'm going to search for Duplicator. So Duplicator is also an essential plugin. It's absolutely mandatory because this will help you back up your site. So if you, let's say, hire hundreds of products and for some reason something goes wrong and your site goes down, you won't have any backup. So Duplicator will help you with that. So we'll also install that. And now we have All-in-One SEO and Duplicator installed. Now there are definitely other plugins that you can install to have more functionality, but I would say All-in-One SEO and Duplicator are the plugins that are mandatory to use, because without this you'll have or run into some issues. And since we are starting our website, this is the best time to have these plugins installed. You can always have other plugins installed at a later date as well. So these are the essential plugins we have set up now. So what I'm going to be doing now is going into WooCommerce settings, because settings are something that we need to spend some time to understand. So I'm going to go into WooCommerce here, and I'm going to go to settings. And don't worry about this red setup payments, because we have yet to set up payments. So once we do that, this will go away. Now, in the settings option, there are hundreds and hundreds of options, right? So I'll be going through the most important settings that you should be configuring. And I'll go into details into taxes and setting up shipping because those are important and critical settings to configure. So in the general settings, what you have to do is set up your store address. So where you're from, which city you're from, everything, because this will affect which payment modes and how you set up shipping zones and how the tax is calculated. So make sure this is set up correctly. Also set up where you sell to. So if you're selling, let's say I'm from India and I want to sell to customers only in India, I can do that. I can do shipping location. So where I ship. So I might have a billing address in India, but I might ship outside of India. So you can configure, or you should configure all of that. So what I'll do is I'll just do sell to specific countries just to keep it simple. I'll just do India for now. And I'll do shipping also to India, so that I can set up every region and zones correctly. Right. And a default customer location, also everything has to be set up. And you also have to enable taxes and calculations because, of course, if you sell physical products, you'll have taxes. If you're selling digital products, then also I think taxes will be mandatory. But this is how you can set it up. And because depending on the settings and configurations, the rest of the settings based on currency and everything have been set up. So I'll click Save Changes. And this is the first and I'd say the most absolute basic thing you have to do when setting up WooCommerce. Next is the products tab. So I'll quickly go to the products tab because product tabs might have a lot of different tabs in itself. So all these settings are important to understand, and a lot of them are self-explanatory. So I'll just go to the important settings and go through them and show you what they are. So in this case, you can set up the shop URL and the placeholder image and the weights and the metric measurement system. And inside the inventory option, you can configure, hey, what's the low stock inventory? Do I enable stock management or not? And these are something that the default options will be more than enough for most use cases. So you don't have to set them correctly, or you don't have to even look at them unless you are understanding or you want to customize this. Next comes the tax options, and tax is something that of course you have to set up. So in the tax options, we'll set up first how we configure pricing. So in India, for example, we have prices that are always listed with tax. So example, I set up a t-shirt for 899 rupees. So that's always inclusive of tax. It's a norm thing basically. So depending on the country you have, you can say, hey, I will enter price inclusive or exclusive tax, and then you can do that. Then based on the rules in your country, what you will have to do is calculate tax based on either the shipping address, the billing address, or the shop base address. In our country, the rules are like this, that hey, if I'm shipping to my own state, the tax rules are different. If I'm shipping to outside my state, the tax rules are different. And the calculation is based on the customer shipping address. So I'll do that. Then I'll leave the rounding here. And then ship classic, I'll change at the later date. The display pricing in the shop, I will including tax. I'll make them including tax. This is important. And this also I will configure to including tax. Basically everywhere the taxes or the pricing should be including the tax. That's what I'm going to do it. So once I've configured this, I'm going to save my changes. And then we can configure the actual taxes. I'm going to show you how to do that. There are a few different options you can do it. So if you go to the standard rates here, this is where we can configure what states attract what taxes. Now, WooCommerce supports few different kinds of taxes you can set up. And as I said, in India, we have a variety of taxes. So when I ship something to my own state, the tax is different. But if I ship something outside my state, the tax is different. So I'm going to give you a couple of demos on how to do this. So what I'm going to do is insert row, and I'll go insert a few different rows. And in this case, I'm going to type in India. So I'm going to fill the entries one by one so I can demonstrate what I'm trying to do here. And I'll do this. And I'll do this. And state code, I'll go for my state first. So I'll do Madhya Pradesh. And I'll do a postcode. Let's say I leave the postcode because all of postcodes in Madhya Pradesh will attract the same tax. And I'll do, let's say, Gujarat. Oops, autofill. And I'll do Maharashtra. So these are two states in India. So I'll be shipping, if I'm shipping to my own state, the tax will be different. So in this case, the tax will be 18%. The tax name will be CGST. And in the case of Gujarat and Maharashtra, the tax will be different. So what I'm going to do is insert one more row here and do the same thing now, because I'm just showing you how to set up the tax here. So I'll set up Gujarat again. Let's wait for the autofill. Okay, let's try GJ here. And since the tax bracket in India is split up, for example, if I ship to Gujarat, instead of paying one tax, I have to pay two different taxes, but the total amount remains the same. So in this case, I'll do tax like this and tax like this. So 9% in both cases, but they'll be split. So in this case, it will be CGST and it will be SGST And my bad, in this case, the tax will be not CGST, it will be IGST. So if I'm shipping to my own state, the tax is applied at 18% and its tax is called IGST. And if I'm shipping to outside of my state, then I'll split that tax into two different parts and I'll compound this tax because this will be applied on the same product. And I'll do that for Maharashtra once again. So I'll do the same thing, Maharashtra, and I'll go here and I'll say this time I'll do CGST and I'll do SGST. And this one is also compounded. So basically now I've set up the taxes basic, and in India we have a category wise tax based system. So any product you have has a different tax rate. WooCommerce does not support that out of the box, where I can support, or I can say, hey, if I'm selling this category of products, apply this tax rate. That's available with a few plugins. So if you are trying to do that, then probably I'll try and research some of the plugins and leave them in the description of this video. But this is how the basics of taxes are set up. Let's save our changes. And this will configure the taxes accordingly. And depending on what the address is sent up or set up in when we are setting up, or when the user is actually placing an order, the taxes will be applied automatically. Next comes the shipping options, and these are very important to understand. So inside the shipping options, we specify shipping zones where the shipping happens. And you can see this here. I'll close this because I'm going to show you how to set up shipping. So we have, depending on the country, you have different kind of shipping rules. Or in India, definitely what we expect to pay is, if we are, let's say, buying from Amazon, usually if you have Prime, we don't pay any shipping. But if you're buying from any store, we don't usually have state-based shipping rates. For example, if I'm buying from even Jammu and Kashmir, I wouldn't expect to pay more because I'm in, let's say, Central India, or even if I was in South India. So flat shipping rates for the rest of the country, and let's say a different tax rate for my own state would be the way I would go. So I can make shipping free for my state because it would be cheaper, but for the rest of the country, I might make it a standard rate. So that's how we set it up. So what I'm going to do is, in India, we have free shipping methods. So first what I'll do is I'll just edit this and set up, instead of India, I'll set up this to my own state. So I'll, instead going here, I'll go to country, India, and I'll search for my state, which is Madhya Pradesh. And once I do this, now I can configure free shipping here. So basically inside the shipping zones, we select which zone name this is. So I can change the name to, let's say, MP, local, or just MP. And in MP or Madhya Pradesh, I want to have free shipping available because this is my state. So this would be easy. So going back here, now what I'll do is I'll select all the states or rest of the states and then configure taxes for them, or sorry, not taxes, the shipping rates for them. So I'll click the add zone button here once again, and I'll just do this rest of India. And what I'll do is I'll go here. Oh, not shipping, not this. I want to go here and select all countries, select India, and I'm going to start selecting all the states here except for my home state. Okay, so I'm going to select all of them one by one, and this might take a minute or so because there are a lot of different states here. So I think I selected Madhya Pradesh as well. No, not yet. All right, so I'll skip over Madhya Pradesh and I'll keep selecting the rest of the states. All right. So all of the states have been done except for Madhya Pradesh. So now we can set up a shipping method for them and also a shipping price for them. So if I, let's say, set up a shipping method, then I can do, instead of free shipping, I want to do a flat rate. So I'll go flat rate and I'll enter a price that I want to charge them. So I'll say, hey, is this first taxable? Let's keep shipping non-taxable. I'll bear the cost of that. And I'll just say 80 rupees. So 80 rupees inclusive of taxes is the shipping price. I want to set it up. I'll create this tax and I'll save it. And now we have two different taxes set up. So if I go here now, and now we can see the two different kinds of tax being set up. One is a flat rate and one is a free shipping option here in my state. If you go to the payments option, then we can have to set up payments. And of course, I'm going to show you how to do that. But let's switch to the rest of the things that we have to configure so that I can just go through them. And then I'll show you how to set up payments on your site as well. So in the checkout options, again, you have some basic options on how you want to keep settings and how you want to show things. And this is not critical to understand at the beginning, but you can go through them. And most of them are self-explanatory. You don't have to these are not critical to understand, or you don't have to customize them. The default options are good enough in most cases. So I'll leave this part and I'll go to the email section. And in the email section, we have emails that will be sent automatically to users when they do actions on your site. So in this case, when a new order happens, who gets an email? So this is the admin email. Cancelled orders, admin. Failed orders, admin. But when order on hold, processing order, completed order, refund order, all this will go to the customer. You can customize the from name, address, email templates. So in this case, you can change some of the colors. But if you go to the actual email, for example, let's say order is processing. In this case, if I go to this email, I can't change the template by itself. That will require some other plugins for us to configure. But in this case, if I even show the template, it's going to be a bunch of code which we can't customize. So that's one limitations in the default version, or I say the basic version of WooCommerce, that you can't customize your emails. But there are other ways to do it. For example, what I do is I have a website of my own, not e-commerce, but I use this fantastic product called Funnel Kit. And this helps me set up emails on automation to my customers, and also gives me a CRM and some automations on my site. It's pretty powerful, and I use it on my personal website as well. So I would recommend that if you are an e-commerce store and you want to have some automations, for example, you might have abandoned cart recoveries that you want to send some coupons automatically, or some automations. It's a fantastic product. I've been using it for a while on my site. So definitely check it out. I'll leave it in the link of the description. Okay. So going back here, inside the email system, I already mentioned how it's going to work. How the options work. Inside the integration options, we have some integrations that we can connect our site with. So you have geolocation and other connections. I'm going to skip this part again because it's not important to set up right now. In the site visibility section, this is important to understand. So in the beginning of the video, you might have observed that this, when I configured this, the site was not live, and this also was not live. So if you are seeing this here, then all you have to do is go to the site visibility section and make sure the website is set up to live so that it can be accessed by the world as well. Okay, now comes the advanced part. So let's check out the advanced tab here. And in the advanced tab, we have some basic page setup guides. Hey, how do the checkout page? What's the checkout page? What can users see? What's the URL of all of this? Again, you don't have to change all of this and configure all of this. You should just know that where this option is available in case you need to understand. And in the advanced tab, we also have REST API, webhooks, and all this. And this will be useful when connecting with shipping, or you want auto notifications on your Slack or Discord or any other communication platform you're using, or you connect with something, an automation software like Zapier or Pabbly to do some automations to the user. This is where you can configure all of them up. All right. So in the basics of settings, the shipping and taxes are the most important. Rest, you should know where settings exist, but you don't have to configure all of them. All right. So now comes the most important part, setting up shipping, or not setting up shipping, but setting up payments on a site so we can actually sell to users and get paid as well. So let's talk about setting up payments now. So we finally set up everything required to run our store. We've set up the themes, the products, the shipping and taxes, except for the thing that is the most important part, which is payments. So let's talk about payments. Now, when we install WooCommerce, payment is already set up, or at least the process of setting up payments is already initiated by WooCommerce by adding a payment plugin automatically bundled with WooCommerce. The plugin that's bundled with WooCommerce is called WooPayments. This is the plugin. You can download it from this link, which I'll link in the description. It's free to use. So you can use this to accept debit cards, credit cards, and local payment options. And that's what we saw when I was navigating through the payment options. You can use this plugin absolutely, but I'm going to also talk about some other methods you can use. So one of the plugins I'm going to be demonstrating is a plugin specifically designed for accepting Stripe payments. You can see Stripe payments for WooCommerce by checkout plugins. This is one plugin, and they also have another plugin for accepting PayPal payments. So if you go to your website here, and if you go to your plugin section right now, if you follow along the steps exactly, you'll notice that one of the plugins is already installed. You can see checkout plugins, Stripe for WooCommerce. This is already installed. How did this happen? Because it's made by the same company that makes the Astra theme, which we're using on our site. So they bundle this payment product or payment plugin with the Astra theme setup when we are setting up WooCommerce, so that the process becomes easier. So this plugin is already installed on our site. So all we have to do is go through the process to set up Stripe. And I'm going to show you the process with Stripe, but the process with PayPal is exactly the same. And by the way, what I've done is I've just went ahead and went to Stripe's website and set up a test account. So you can see it's in test mode. So anything or any dollar amounts or any transactions you see will be just testing. So since this is a test website, I'm not going to be enabling the test, or I'd say the live mode, because I need to set up a business for that. So you can follow along with the test mode, make sure everything is working, then submit your documents to Stripe, and then make sure that you are on the live mode and also enable the live mode. So I'm going to be doing this side by side. I'm just going to move this to the side. Let's go here and click Setup Payments. This will create or start the process of connecting with Stripe. And the benefit of using this plugin is that the process is very simple. We'll click Connect with Stripe and open a dialog box or ask us to connect or enter authentication information. So let's add this code manually and let's set up our plugin. So I'm going to go to the next step after entering the code, and I'll resume the video then. So I just scanned the QR code on the screen with the Google Authenticator app, and I'm going to click the next button now. And now it's asking me to enter the Stripe login code. So I'll just enter the code once it appears or it refreshes on my phone here. And that's done. So our account is now created and secured with Stripe. And these were security measures for two-factor authentication, basically. So now that we can see this on our site. And what I'm going to do is take this code here, copy this, and I'm going to place it on a notepad file off the screen here so that I can secure it, even though I'm setting up as a test account. Let's click next. All right. So now we can see here, select the account that you like to connect. So I'm already logged in. So it's showing my test account that I created way back. But if you have more than one account, you can select the account you want to use or even create a new account. So even if you haven't set up Stripe, you can always create a new account here. Let's click connect. So let's set up our account by entering some business information. So we have business location and type of business. And unfortunately, Stripe doesn't support Indian payments yet. So even if I try to search for India, there is no option to connect with an Indian account right now. My Stripe account is quite old. That's why I have the account. So what I'm going to be doing is just selecting United States for this example. And I'm going to select the type of business as individual. And I'm going to click continue to proceed to the next step. So in this step, I'm going to be filling my personal details. Now, by the way, I have set up this account on this website as a test account, and my Stripe account is also in test mode. So obviously I don't live in the US. I don't have a US address or US details. So I'm going to be filling in dummy information. So obviously my account is going to be rejected by Stripe or it'll cause problems. But what I'm clarifying is that this is a test account for me. But when you're setting up your account, you should fill the right information. And I'll show you how to switch between the test mode and live mode on WooCommerce as well, as I demonstrated on Stripe's website already. So what I'm going to be doing is filling this information now. Let's fill my name correctly. And let's change the email address to something basic. And let's set up. And what I'm going to be doing is finding a dummy address from the internet and entering that information here. So I've filled out this information and let's click continue. The next step is pretty obvious as well. We'll select the industry and enter the website URL I'm going to be using and some description of the products I'm going to be selling. So once again, I'm going to be filling this with dummy information. So let me finish that up quickly. So I filled up the information. Let's click continue. So now comes the interesting part, because now we'll select the bank account we want to accept payments in. Now, as I mentioned already, I'm not in the US, I'm an Indian citizen, and India or Stripe is not available in India. So what I'm going to be doing is just skipping the process from here altogether and just showing you how the process works for collecting payments. The next few steps are very simple. You have to connect a few different things to enable your Stripe account. And even if you click or exit the setup process here, the connection will work and you will still see all the details here. So what I'm going to be doing is going back to the dashboard and now showing you how it works. So I skipped the process of adding a bank account here and just went back, and this is where we can set up the webhook, which is required for Stripe to communicate with our website that a payment has been made. So what I'm going to do is just click the purple button which says create webhook, and this will give us a webhook that we can create, and we will select test mode for now because we are in test mode right now. Let's click save. And congratulations, we have successfully connected to Stripe, and Stripe has an option for card processing. That means all the different kinds of cards you can use here. So it's already activated. I'll activate gateways and we'll just proceed to the next step. And we can also activate Express Checkout with Apple Pay and Google Pay. So we'll also click this and activate it. And we are done. We've just set up Stripe on our account. We'll click finish setup. And we'll reach back here. Now this is set up in test mode right now. So let me also show you how to enable or disable test mode from WooCommerce. And also you'll have to do it from your Stripe account as well. So example, if I go here, you can see using test data, so you'll need to enable or input all the information here and then disable this. So then it works. Let's go back to our site here and I'll click the settings option here. And inside the settings, we can see the test account is connected and the mode is test. So once you're done or once you have or you're happily done this, all you have to do is click the test button here and just go live, and the settings from your account will, or at least on your site, will go live. And then you'll have to go to Stripe account as well and just do the same thing there. And then you'll be able to collect payments on your website as well. And just to give you a quick example, I just added a couple of products to my cart. And if you proceed to checkout here, then we'll see that Stripe or credit cards with Stripe or cards with Stripe will be available as a payment mode here, and you can see it right here. And you also see this option here, which is the test mode enabled. That means we are in test mode. So you can use this dummy credit card number to just do unlimited transactions to test out how the experience is and if everything is set up correctly. So that's how you set up payments with Stripe using the plugin I just mentioned on your WooCommerce store. And that's a wrap on this WooCommerce tutorial. Hopefully you've learned how to build a WooCommerce store in just a couple of hours by following this tutorial. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more continuous WordPress education. Like this video for encouragement. And if you have any questions, the comment box is open. You're watching Yuvraj from WP Beginner Tutorials. I'll catch you in the next video. Take care.